So now that we have a click event assigned to each span that targets this change panels function, let's come down here and copy that name plus the parentheses. And let's come down to our document after the document ready and define our custom function. So we'll type function space, paste in the function name, beginning and ending bracket. Let's split that open on the brackets. Now we need to do a calculation here, which is we need to know, based on the tab that was selected, where to animate the new panels to. And what we need to do is make that calculation based on the actual span that was clicked. So we need one extra variable. So inside of the parentheses for change panels, let's type new index. So when we call this change panels function, we can send along a variable that will be captured in this name. Now when we call the function, we're not actually sending anything yet. So let's come back into the click event for the spans, set a few spaces, and let's actually send the index number of the item that was clicked. So we can do that by typing $ parentheses this outside of the parentheses dot index and then another set of parentheses. So when we call change panels, we're also going to send the index position of the item that was clicked, and jQuery will take care of that for us. So then when we call this, we'll know which individual span was clicked. And then down here, we can start creating our variables for our calculations. So first, we're going to start with var space new panel position. We're going to set that equal to set of parentheses. Then we're going to calculate the window.panel width. So let's come up here and copy that variable name. Let's paste that inside of the parentheses. Then we're going to multiply that by adding an asterisk times new index. Then we're going to take that value, so outside of the parentheses, we're going to multiply that times -1. That's going to give us a negative number for the width of the panels so that we know where to slide the panels container toward the left on the x-axis. Next variable, new panel height. We're going to set this equal to $ parentheses, tick marks inside for a string literal, .sp space dot panel colon nth dash child, another set of parentheses. So what nth child does in jQuery is it picks out a specific child based on an index number. So what we're doing here is we're basically figuring out which one of the panels we want to animate to based on which one of the children was clicked on. And so inside of the parentheses here, we're going to typically put a number. But what we're going to do is do a calculation based on our new index variable. So inside of the parentheses, 2 tick marks for a string literal. Inside there, 2 plus signs. Inside there, we're going to put a beginning and ending parenthesis. And inside these parentheses, we can do our calculation. So we're going to type new index plus 1. Since the index can start at 0, we don't want to actually multiply this item by 0. We need to have a number starting with 1. Now outside of the parentheses, for the item we want to search for, we're going to type dot find, another set of parentheses. Inside of the parentheses for find, 2 tick marks for a string literal, we want to search for panel content. Outside of the parentheses, dot height, another set of parentheses, then a space, then we're going to add 15, then a semicolon, which is going to give us 15 pixels of space on the bottom of the panel. Now that we've got these 2 calculations in place, now we can actually create our animations. So $ parentheses, tick marks for a string literal. We're going to target dot sp space dot panels, plural. Outside of the parentheses, dot animate, another set of parentheses, semicolon. Inside of the parentheses for animate, beginning and ending bracket. The property we're going to animate is going to be left, colon, and we're going to animate that to the new panel position. So let's come up here and copy that variable name. Let's paste it inside of here. Outside of the brackets, comma, 1000 milliseconds. Let's hit a return. Now let's animate the height of the panel container. $ parentheses, tick marks for a string literal, dot sp space dot panel underscore container dot animate, another set of parentheses, semicolon, brackets inside. Inside the brackets, we're going to target the height property, colon, and we're going to animate that to the new panel height. So let's come up here and copy that. Let's paste that inside of here, then comma, 1000 milliseconds for that as well. So now make sure all of your files are saved. Let's come back out to the browser and let's reload this in a browser. Now in the browsers, we still don't see the panels because we haven't actually animated anything open yet because we haven't run any of our custom functions. But if I come up here and click on one of the tabs, we'll see that the panel container opens up, and that extra 15 pixels down here gives us that same padding set that we set in the CSS. And then if I click on video, we'll animate this over. Notice the height of the overall panel animates to that new height as well. Click on photography, video, and then back to iPad. Now we have the panels tab animating correctly to the right panel and corresponding to the tab that we clicked on. Next, we'll work on adding the selected state to the tabs so that we can indicate to the user which tab they've clicked on.